I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Just going to make an announcement. We had an executive session prior to this meeting to discuss personnel matters. Are there any public discussion regarding agenda items? Not, we'll move on to the minutes of the January 5th, 2026 reorganization meeting and the January 5th, 2026 regular monthly supervisors meeting. I'll second that. All right. Oh, I didn't make the motion, I just was reading it, but so I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from both the January reorg meeting and the monthly meeting. The motion's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Gotcha.
We'll move on. We need a motion to authorize or ratify the payments of the bills for the month of February 2026.
Second.
The motion's been moved and seconded to ratify payment of bills. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
I'll make a motion to approve the departmental reports.
Second.
The motion's been made and seconded to approve the departmental reports. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
Make a motion to approve the tax collector's hours Saturday, 3/21, 4/18, 5/9, from 9 to 11 a.m. On the evenings are 5/4, 5/6, 5/11, 5/13, and 5/15, 4 to 6 p.m.
I'll second that.
The motion's been moved and seconded to approve the tax collector's hours. Are there any questions on the motion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of a part-time officer, Franklin Hatton, effective January 13th, 2026.
I'll second the motion. The motion's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
We got our stuff back.
Motion carries.
Make a motion to ratify the hiring of part-time officer James Kabaki, effective February 20th, 2026.
Second.
The motion's been moved and seconded to ratify the hiring of James Kabaki. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
We hear anything in the other?
March, we'll start in March. It's done.
Is that need for this one, or? We
Oh, yeah, it's good.
can bring it up. Well, it's not on an agenda.
Oh, you're talking about the other one? No, nothing yet.
Okay.
All right. I'll make a motion to authorize the township's contribution not to exceed the township's remaining unexhausted insurance deductible towards settlement of the Reese matter as authorized and agreed by the township's appointed insurance counsel.
Where is that? Where's that? Where is that on the agenda?
Page.
Number 9.
Number 9.
No, it's not.
Nope,
We have a different one than this.
this is public comment, number
You
9.
don't have this at all on the agenda.
We have.
Here, give him that.
Public
That
comment.
just- that-
I'll get a couple copies.
Was,
I'll get copies for you.
hold on, we just need to back up a minute and make sure which agenda was.
Do Murphy have the correct one? Because she ran back and made copies of a couple.
No, I got one that you handed out.
I copied the one you
No,
gave.
that's wrong.
No, the final one I gave her.
There's like
was
4
this
more
one.
things on the next one.
Pardon?
This is what you got.
That's not the final agenda that was posted
Okay, well, that's what was given to me.
by,
You?
no, I handed her yesterday the final one that she posted.
No, just here, when I went to print papers.
Yeah.
I just took them off of here.
Yeah, he's making more copies. I don't
We'll fix it.
No big deal.
So the agenda you guys have is the one that's on the website?
Yes, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
100%?
Should be.
Yes. And you can look it up. if you
Yeah.
want, But yeah, that's what I see.
There you go, Stace.
Let's verify this, please.
The one I have is the one back
It
there.
is right. Maria.
Facebook number 9, motion to authorize.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
it's called.
all right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, it should be 13 total things.
13 total.
Yep, that's on Facebook, yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for the clarification. I believe that's what I see, but you know, when someone questions, I just want to make sure.
I'm gonna read it over.
That's all right, just the print error.
All right, so I'm gonna read motion, item 9 on the agenda over.
Anybody else?
I'll make a motion to authorize the township's contribution not to exceed the township's remaining unexhausted insurance deductible towards the settlement of the Reese matter as authorized and agreed by the township's appointed insurance counsel.
Now, see, we don't have minutes, we weren't able to comment on these because we didn't see these in the beginning, so.
Do you wish to?
You need to
What
open
was,
this back
what,
up.
yeah, what is this
We
about?
just did and said, do you wish to?
Yes,
That's all.
There was an insurance claim filed regarding a police matter. The insurance company was defending it. There was a settlement authorized by the insurance company for a modest amount. We have a deductible in these matters of $10,000. We've already spent over $5,000 on attorney's fees and time, etc. A modest settlement was offered by the insurance company, with us only contributing the remaining, what remains left of our deductible. So at this point, we're either going to pay the attorney or contribute towards the settlement, so we've authorized that minor contribution towards the settlement.
okay, thank you.
With no admissions of liability, we fully believe, as does the insurance counsel and everybody else who's looked at it, that it's not meritorious, but sometimes you have to make a business decision.
Is that the end of it then?
Yes.
There was a motion.
I'll second.
The motion's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I'll make a motion to authorize the township manager to purchase the following supplies for Parks Recreation Committee and events. Members' t-shirts with logos, 12, not to exceed a $300. Raffle tickets for March 5th, bingo night and future events, which is $100. Plastic eggs and prizes, 2 bicycles for 26. Easter egg hunt, not to exceed $350.
I'll second it.
I just got one question. Is $350 enough to do the Easter egg hunt?
No.
That's not for the whole hunt, that's just for the bicycle.
Oh, okay, so that's, you just get them now. So when you want to get something more, we'll come back and do that.
So wait,
Well, the way it's worded, it sounds like it's
Yes.
for the whole Easter egg hunt.
it's
Yeah.
for the whole Easter egg thing.
It's
and
to authorize those specific purchases.
You want 8 bikes?
8?
You
Well,
want 2 per,
Don't exceed $350 on bicycles.
That's what they're saying, for each purchase.
That's not the way it's worded.
When we wrote up the motion yesterday, talking to Stacy and I, we were the understanding that there would be 2 bicycles. She looked on Walmart, frankly, and they range for a small kit between $75 and $100 something. So we rounded up, I think, to $150.
I thought you buy them per age group.
yeah.
I'm confused.
So do you need more bicycles than 2? Is there
Yes.
some confusion
Yeah,
on that?
that $350 isn't enough money in my
No.
mind.
Well, not
Then if
not
you
for
want
the
to,
8.
you can amend
Absolutely
your
not.
motion
So
to.
I would amend the motion to not exceed $1,000 for the Easter egg hunt. And, try not to spend it all, but if you do, it's up to that, but no more than.
I think I even rounded up $40 on the eggs. So, sorry, we thought we were talking about 2 bicycles.
Can we get any more for the shirts?
We should have called you at home.
How much
So you
does it cost
already-
for raffle tickets be made?
You already made that motion.
They're on Amazon, for the Chinese auction, it's like 40.
Somebody can make a motion to
1,000.
amend the motion to change that number to $1,000.
I'll make the motion to amend the
Yeah,
motion.
and then they'll get money
Change
from
it
the
to
bingo
1,000.
that can help out.
Well, there's been a motion to amend the motion to change it to $1,000 instead of the $350. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries.
If I might interject before you get to the public comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
As we discussed in the executive session on contractual matters was also part of what we discussed. As you know, you've been planning on putting in a purchase order for a purchase of a new dump truck for the DPW. We were waiting for some final paperwork and whatnot, and we're prepared to put that on the agenda for the next month. We just discovered today, this afternoon, that if the purchase order is not put in by Friday, there will be what the vendor is calling a tariff surcharge
15%.
on the purchase that would cost us, and every penny counts. In fact,
Was it 15%? Is that what it was?
he estimated it could cost about an extra $1,500, which is nothing to sneeze at, and we just put some into the Easter egg hunt. So with that in mind, if we're able to get a purchase order authorization is all we need, because a municipality, we don't even need a down payment, otherwise there would be a $10,000 payment. We're able, if they get a paperwork from us, if you authorize Stacy to execute the purchase order and submit that by tomorrow, they'll be able to actually put the order in by Friday and then spare us the extra $1,500 tariff surcharge. The total purchase, and we have a purchase order dated February 9th with numbers that were provided to Stacy through today. It would be the purchase from of a MY 2027 Western Star 47X DD 13 410 horsepower truck, Western Star truck from Frida Freightliner Pittsburgh, with a cost of about 100. What's the cost of the truck itself? Sorry.
$155,000.
$155,000, together with upfitting charges of approximately $120,000, or a total price of approximately $276,000 to be paid from the funds as described, with the remaining balance of approximately $140,000
$148,388.
to be financed under a lease purchase agreement that you can pay off at your leisure when you sell. You could have it on terms that are 1 year, 3 year, or 5 years, but there's no prepayment penalty, and you may, if you wish, pay it off from your current funds after you sell the existing truck, which I understand you need and cannot sell till after the other one is in place. So with that all said, to take action on that tonight, you need to do a motion to amend the agenda to include a consideration of a motion to authorize the purchase order. And the motion itself would be a motion to authorize the purchase order, submission of purchase order for the FIDA SEI MY 2027 Western Star truck, as I just described, from FIDA as quoted, for a price not to exceed, just rounding up, $280,000 to be paid in cash with an approximate lease/loan for the balance of approximately $140,000.
All right. I'll make a motion to amend the agenda so we don't get caught with the tariff, the extra tariff. So I'll make a motion to modify the agenda.
I'll second that.
The motion's been moved and seconded to modify the agenda. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion carries to open the agenda.
And then it would be appropriate, if the board's pleasure, to make that motion to authorize the execution and submission of the purchase order not to exceed $280,000 for the purchase of that truck as described. And after a second, you may open it up to public comment.
I'll make a motion about a truck for the $280,000.
As stated.
As stated.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been moved and seconded. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. We open up the public comments. I seen you had your hand up, Bill.
Yeah, you're saying that
I
cabin,
beg your pardon. When he opened up the question, I was going to interject. That includes any public comments on the matter.
you're saying the cabin chassis is $150,000, $130 for the dump bed and plow?
You want to give me the exact numbers there, Stacy?
Yeah. You went through the exact items there.
Yeah, it's right here.
The Stevenson equipment uplift is $120,000.
The truck itself is
So the
155,
A truck, the cab and chassis for a single axle truck's $155,000.
226, yeah, with all the bells and whistles that are in it. Happy to share the,
No, I was just curious, that's all, I mean, it's,
no, and I didn't mean that facetiously. If you wish to look at it, happy to share it with you.
Nothing's cheap anymore, Bill.
well, no, but I just kind of,
And I think Mickey and the crew fully vetted this thing. Actually, they were looking at this before the year ended. And it's,
Yeah, Ronnie and,
is it the same size truck you're
And
going
it's the
now?
Co-Stars,
Or has it got a bigger bed?
Yeah.
it's the same size bed, it just got a little more horsepower
Yeah.
than the previous one, from what I've seen in the specs.
Yeah.
410.
All right, we'll move on to correspondence. We've received the correspondence February 20th, 2026, an Act 14 letter from Pewaskee Willison Temp Water Lines. February 19th, 2026, Act 14 letter for the Stevenson Thomas. And a correspondence on January 28th, 2026, Act 13 letter, Shear Robert. Also, just want to talk about this too, and just bring it up. There's been some social media comments, and there's been some activity over there by the Shirellis regarding like water going into mines, and you may be able to comment about that a little bit too. And that's probably why you're here tonight.
I can.
Oh, down at Nobletown.
Yeah, down in Nobletown, into the mines is what they're saying. And I've made some phone calls to the DEP to try to get some clarification from some numbers of people. And I'm just not getting real clear information on what's actually happening there. And it's a little bit concerning to me, the amount of gallons that's going into the mine void. What's in it? We're just not getting good information back from
No,
my.
and I'm happy to make an inquiry afterwards and armed with any information the public wishes to share with us.
If you have anything else to share, I'd like to hear it.
So what happened in October was Mark West is using trenchless drilling to push through a pipeline that will connect Shirelli well pad to the Imperial compressor station area in Robinson, which they are calling the Imperial Pipeline. And then eventually they will push through to North Fayette to the Cimarron well pad. So this activity traverses, again, from Shirelli well pad across the street from Fort Cherry, under Noblestown Road, and then into Robinson Township, under the trail, and then into Robinson Township. What they experienced in October from the DEP records, this is not my opinion, this is from their records, is that they pushed through the mine, the Primrose mine, and they lost the fluid that they were flushing, making this trenchless pathway. They lost the fluid. So it fell into a void, or it fell into somewhere. They haven't figured out where it has gone. The DEP alerted, so the Oil and Gas Division alerted, Mark West alerted the Mining Division in October. And at that time, everything was like, well, we don't know where it is yet, we'll keep going. And the DEP allowed them. Then we experienced, until January, mid-January, they continued, and 18 times they kept losing their fluid. So they dumped it somewhere. And it is now somewhere over 1.2 million gallons. And right now, the DEP is a watch and wait attitude. That's what they're
Right.
doing.
I mean, that was kind of the answer that I got.
Yeah.
I mean, it
But
didn't
the
seem
problem
like.
with that is, it was all frozen. So now that things are gonna start thawing out, we don't know where it is. What bothered me the most was that they didn't contact residents. They didn't contact municipalities. Because I've been in touch with Robinson as well, because we're right on the border. And the residents there were not alerted as well. So,
I mean, my biggest concern is for the residents is the folks that are on wells.
right.
And, if they're getting contamination into the wells, I'm just concerned about that. We had one resident reach out to us, because they heard the same thing that we all heard.
Yeah, I mean, it's been on Facebook, that's it.
Right.
Which is from a person who's reporting it from I think he's in Harrisburg. David Hess writes a blog. He is the former DEP secretary, and he does an environmental blog, and he was also
But, I
reading
mean-
the DEP reports.
I mean, the only thing that makes me feel a little bit good about this is that the DEP is aware of this, okay? And they know about it, but they haven't done anything, in my opinion, about it.
They haven't.
Is it-
They haven't.
Is
So
it your understanding that the Bureau of Mines is involved in some kind of regulatory fashion as well?
the Bureau of Mines was contacted in October from the first spill. There was a notice of violation issued for that spill, but they were not contacted for each and every, for the 17 other spills. However, they are aware of it now. I've contacted them, and they are aware of it, but they're still kind of like, it's, to our understanding, it's in a void. So until we start seeing boots on the ground or people complaining and water, you know, they don't know where it is. They honestly don't know where it is. And this is concerning because it could go out of the mine, it could go into an aquifer. We just don't know until people start reporting it. So
Do you happen to know, and I'm sorry, do you happen to know whether there's been by order of the DEP or otherwise any kind of like, you mentioned potential well water contamination, any kind of water testing, well
I don't know
testing,
that.
or could you share with me after the meeting any
Sure.
kind of contacts that we might be able to?
Sure,
might be
yeah,
helpful
because,
for us
I mean,
to-
I've encouraged Robinson's solicitor as well to contact the DEP. And
Yeah.
I'm encouraging any resident, especially if you're on well water, go to the call the DEP. There's a complaint, if you get online, there's a complaint form that you can fill out. You can also call them, have your water tested and see, you know, because they did take samples. They took samples of the drilling fluid, which, you know, industry is saying it's just water. I get that. It's water, it's bentonite, it's max gel, and it's soda ash. All things that is used in the industry, but not something I want in my water to drink and not something I want my animals to drink. So I just encourage people to call the DEP.
Yeah, if we might, I'm happy to talk with you to help.
Sure, thank you.
Or if you want to forward anything that you have to her.
Yeah,
then-
I'm happy to, and again, I encourage you folks to talk to Robinson as well, because I've been
Thank you for,
there as well.
thank you for that explanation.
Yeah, I also want to point out too that you're not done yet because they're going to go Shirelli to Coleman now. So the start point again is Shirelli and they'll go to Cecil because they're going to connect to the Coleman station there. So this time it'll go under Fort Cherry Road and shoot in. And the problem with this area is it's the same pathway that the Falcon pipeline took. And the Falcon pipeline had many spills, they called them spills, dumps as well. And that resulted in criminal charges. And I said this again in Robinson, the criminal charges that were given to Shell had to pay fines. They paid it to Beaver County because the people in Beaver County complained and nobody in Washington County complained.
Yeah.
So please, people, please call the DEP and complain. At the very least, have a concern. You know, have a concern for your county, have a concern for the water. But I'll get you the stuff,
I
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you very much. All right, move on for adjournment.
Public
Oh,
comment.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Was there any other public comments? Mr. Roth?
How about my well? It's got cow shit going right in it, and you guys ain't doing nothing about it. You got that solicitor there, he keeps his mouth shut. Here. Right there, that's what it is, right there. 2 cows, 57 feet from my well. What the hell are you guys doing? You're supposed to have 300 feet away from the house. It's in the books. You stick a book up your ass, is what I say.
Thank
My
you.
wife got cancer on that kind of that shit. And it's $1,200 a day. And it's 400 and some thousand already on it. And you worry about other people too. That pisses me off.
Any other public comments? Please state your name for the record.
Mary Jo Stazzle, 46 Woodland Road, Hickory. I wanted to ask about Gary Andreas. He is still not in compliance with what the Planning Commission told him that he needed to be doing for them to give him the conditional use permit. And you guys told us when you passed it and you let him do his thing, you know, you're allowed to do this, that if he didn't follow all of Bill knows all of them, all the conditions that were placed upon him, then we were to notify the zoning officer, which I have, and a couple times by phone, but then I learned again, it's in emails now, so I've got proof of everything. That he is supposed to have a building. There's specific things about where cars can park. They're very limited. Most of the stuff is to be in the building. Anything down there is to be in the building. There's not to be any piles of gravel, piles of salt, piles of anything. There's not to be any trees if he would be doing landscaping in the summer. There's not to be any equipment. There's not to be any buildings other than the big shed with his office on it. But he continues, it still looks like a junkyard. There's the equipment, there's piles of stuff everywhere. There's 2 buildings that made of tin hanging off the side of the cliff. There's another one that looks like a railroad car sitting alongside there. There's Jersey barriers in some points. It's just a mess. He has never made an attempt to plant a tree, a blade of grass, or do anything like that in the area that he was told he had to do. He has buffered on my side where he could be planting something. I don't think he even has enough 25 foot of space to do the buffer on the other side. For Kara and Steve Antonetti, I think is how you say their last name. The DEP at the end of November gave him okay to go ahead with the stormwater drainage system. Nothing has been done with that, and I know it's winter time. Spring rains are going to be coming. That valley floods a good bit. I've got pictures on my phone where it's up beyond, close to the bank of the back of my house. It's high, it goes high sometimes. Because that was the stormwater drainage system, this ravine that he redid with his building. So I want you all to know, again, I think I'm on camera, and I've sent my emails out, that this isn't being done. I've told the zoning officer, he's been out once, said he was going to go again. I missed the meeting in December because of the time. I didn't get up here in time because it was the first of the year. But I did show pictures to people that day. Now, rumor mill has it that he doesn't even plan to stay there. Plans to rent it out. And hopefully, he can't leave this the way he has it there. That he still has to fix this for the DEP. I'm sure they'll make that happen.
I can speak to your inquiries. He's actually not allowed to start the work until he's finished submitting the bonds and stuff to us. When you were here last in November, and Mr. Ivory actually went out and looked at the property, I think 2 times from your fingers. There's no activity, business activity going on the site. The stuff that's on the site can sit there until he starts. He has developers agreements that have been delivered to his. By the way, if I may finish, please. You asked a question, please let me finish.
I didn't ask the question. I was giving my dissertation.
And I'm commenting to the board on what the status of it is right now. And I actually just spoke to the attorney yesterday representing the developers. They have the stormwater agreement, they have the developer agreement. With that, their engineer has to submit a cost estimate and they have to put up a bond before they're even allowed to start doing the work of creating the buffer and everything else that they're required to do on the approved site plan. And we're expecting that in the next couple of weeks or month or so. They're actually technically allowed under the MPC 5 years to complete that.
That was my question to you. How long?
You have 5 years to complete, but you're not allowed to start until they actually sign our documents, turn them back into us, and post the bond. I actually just had a conference call with the attorney yesterday regarding that. I have another scheduled conference call with him to get those things finalized and get the paperwork from the engineer. I've had Harold verify 2 times that the status quo is the same and that there's no active activity on the site.
Stazzle, do you understand what?
I understand
on the
but
day,
I still think the conditions should be met. There's no reason for all that equipment.
they are in the process of
There's
meeting
no
with
reason
them.
for those buildings to be there.
Well, there has, like you
For the
said,
pigsty.
what the solicitor said, you have to meet the developer's agreement before that work can even start.
Just like if this was
And there is a
Cherry Valley
timeline that
or-
it has to be done. I know it may seem,
Well, you told us the whole Woodland Road, and all the residents that were here today, and the couple that are over on Casey, from the subdivision that this land came from, that if he didn't follow the conditions of the planning commission, he would be given a citation, and he would then have 30 days to correct it, and if he didn't, and that is in the plan also, then it would be taken away from him. He could no longer
Well-
have the right to that.
well, correct me if I'm wrong, though, it's about the time that he has to get it.
That's correct, and it's not the planning commission, they made the recommendations. This board approved the conditional use, because he met the criteria, subject to conditions, and he got the land development approval. After that's done, whether it's a Mark West building, or a Range Resource thing, or whatever the case may be, Cherry Valley, what happens after that is I write up developer's agreement, stormwater agreement, because he actually has to do a stormwater agreement that gets recorded with the county, that in perpetuity requires whoever owns that land to meet the operation and maintenance schedule of that. We're in the process of getting that executed and recorded. On the sewage part of it, it's correct. In fact, it was the day you were here last that coincidentally, the county DEP sewage people issued their approval of it. That's an approval they sent to us and to the developer,
You never
okay?
approved
In
it.
addition to the DEP approval from their level, the township actually has to approve the whole, that's part of the township's approval and post-approval and stormwater. What he has to do now is, once he places the bond up to guarantee that he actually finishes the work, that'll be inspected by our engineer, before he's actually allowed to put a shovel in the ground and start digging that detention facility, he has to put up the bond for that work and for the trees, to guarantee and all that, everything that he's required to do. They have to put an estimate in and put a bond up for that to be approved. That's what's in process right now. That work may not start till the spring. But in the meantime, I do believe that Mr. Ivory has checked 2 times down there in the last month, and there's not been activity on the site that's inconsistent with
Yeah,
that.
I took the
Status.
conditional use agreement with me
Yeah.
and took pictures and seen what was there, and I replied to your email.
No, I didn't get a reply.
Oh, I did reply to it though. I'll send it again.
All right, well, I hope some of those questions that Tom,
Tom said in one of the papers that he wrote as official that the man that you guys had already approved for him to have the, what are they called, the tanks that get pumped for his sewage. That was tabled in the end of July. That was never approved by anybody on the panel here.
That's in process too, actually. That dovetails off of the DEP has approved this sewer system. From our local level, it's been approved administratively. He basically needs to make a payment to us, and I discussed this with the attorney yesterday. One of his punch list items that he has before it goes back on your agenda, because you guys from time to time get on your agenda a motion to approve a holding tank agreement. That won't come back before, he can't get that approval, and then he won't be able to get occupancy or anything else until he owes us $1,000 for that. And I think that's all that is remaining for him to have that matter put on the agenda. That's another punch list item of the ones I've discussed.
Well, if he has that registered, that deed on that land is registered at the courthouse as public record for taxes. One of the other neighbors pointed it out to me, and we made copies of it. He registered as a class commercial. So my concern is, he's going through all of this, and if the rumor mill is correct, it's bad enough, he's there. What rights does he have to then not do everything that he said he was going to do and just sell his business and rent that out to somebody else? Would they have to come and get approved by you again?
If you're asking whether if somebody completes, whoever is the owner will have to complete or abandon and take down what they've done. If you get an approval for that, just like we approved the culling upgrades up the street, they have to complete those things. If Cohen completes those things and then sells to Exxon, they don't need a zoning approval to sell the same. McDonald's sells to Burger King, they don't need to come to you other than an occupancy permit change. They don't need reapproval for the use of the property. Just like if you have a home and you get an occupancy permit, if you go to sell your home, or they go to sell a Giant Eagle, whatever the case may be.
But to her point, all the conditions would still have to be used
By whoever, yes.
by the
yes,
other
yes,
renter.
Yes.
It would just be conditional use, it would not be commercial property.
And let me say, no, it'll be the same, when somebody gets a zoning approval,
We never got a zoning.
it does have a zoning approval.
No, it
That's what
doesn't.
we're talking about. You got the zoning approval with the conditional use approval in the fall, the same time that you
You
got the
never
land
took us to a
development
zoning
approval.
board, which the
The
Attorney
zoning
General
approval
says
is
that's where
not
we
before
should
there's
be
a
in the first
conditional
place.
use
And
approvals,
if not,
man.
and if our
You
zoning
were here,
officer,
you were
which
here
you
for it.
then, you couldn't do it.
There might be
You
some-
weren't supposed to be involved. It was the supervisors that were to be.
I work for the supervisors.
You worked for them.
There may be some
You don't
confusion.
oversee them.
Some things go to a zoning hearing board, variances, special exceptions. Conditional uses, as you know, you've had many of them here, conditional uses come before the Board of Supervisors. The Board of Supervisors is who held the public hearing. You held the public hearing on this. You actually had me write up the decision with all the conditions that approved with conditions that conditional use. Okay, at the same time, you also approved the land development plan, which is the actual site plan. The zoning is, can I do this activity on this property? That was approved with a fat decision, with conditions. At the same time, you also did the land development plan. The site plan is, okay, now that I'm allowed to do this thing, how do I put that together? You approved both of those on the same night, I believe in September or so.
Right.
And all the stuff we've been talking about is all the implementation of those approvals that is in process right now. But the long story short is, when he gets that stuff done and builds it out and gets it approved under our engineer auspices and gets that approved, if he gets an occupancy permit that allows him to do the activity and start doing business in there, he could, yes, the municipality has no power, just like you can rent your house out, we can't come and say you can't rent your house out. He actually could rent this place out, he could sell it to another person, who, if the person purchased it, or if they rented that place off of him, they would be entitled to do the same activities on that property that the owner's entitled to.
As long as all those
As
conditions
long as
are
all the
met.
conditions are met, that's right.
I understand that, but what I want to know is so he does all the things he needs to do. I mean, I want the stormwater drainage system repaired on that land, so I want that done. I want the buffers up, and everything that I want. And then when there's supposed to be a building there, and that's it. None of that other garbage all around the place. So once this is done, and I'm not waiting 5 years, why did you write into the conditions that if he doesn't comply in certain things within 30 days, you were going to take it away from him?
That's not in the conditions, man.
It is in the conditions.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's in the conditions. If after the zoning officer goes, checks it, that he can't just say, oh, I have to leave that there because I need that there, because I'm going to be building in the spring. No, you put that someplace else. I don't have to look at it all year. When you need to build, bring your stuff in to do it. If you can't fit it in your shed where all your personal belongings are going to go. You follow my line of thought? Can he wait 5 years and still make it a dump? I know.
He has up to 5 years to substantially complete everything.
Well, he shouldn't have 5 years to come up
That's
with
the
his
law.
conditions.
That's
He has 30 days according to the conditions. I read it twice. And they're,
He had 30 days to agree to those
That's right.
conditions.
You're exactly right. The last sentence in all the decisions we...
Mrs. Stazzle, he had 30 days to agree with the decision. If he didn't agree with the decision, then those conditions wouldn't have been granted, correct?
Yes, and he could have appealed it in 30 days, and if he
no,
doesn't...
we have nothing. The day I stood here and I said to you all, you talk the talk, let's see if you walk the walk. Because you said if he didn't do what he was supposed to be doing, all we had to do was call a zoning officer. The zoning officer would give him, follow an ordinance, and it would all, he would be out in 30 days.
I don't understand what you're calling a dump.
You don't know what I'm calling
I
it.
have the pictures, and maybe you need to.
I have.
And talk over what you're
I'll show you
seeing.
my pictures.
All right, well, I appreciate your comments. Thank you. Are there any other public comments? Please state your name for the record, for those that don't know you. And
Yeah, I'm new around here. My name's Marion Robertson. Hopefully you don't get to see me much. Trust me, it would be in your best interest. I'm not that nice. I might look nice.
Well, I see your shirt.
Yeah.
You're lucky, right?
I am lucky. I'm always lucky. But my daughter just built a house in the township. And I wanted to confirm that when you build a house and it's per code, that if the building is not per code, should it be approved?
Do you want to give us the specifics?
I know who he is. That's why I'm looking this way, because if I look that way, I'll get angry. So, if there are live wires hanging down, should that be approved for electrical? If the stacks on the toilets are not hooked together, and every time you flush, the whole house smells like poo, would you like your plumbing inspected?
Well, if the codes aren't met and they certify the certification, whoever, electrician, whatever, has to come in, they're not
Yes.
gonna prove that
Yes,
until.
well, he did.
Well, I'm not there and I don't know his
I
job,
know you
but I'm
did,
just,
yes.
for
Right,
construction
right.
purposes, I know that everything has to be approved by electricians, whoever,
Exactly, right, yes.
engineers,
I
whatever.
mean, West Penn wouldn't even give us electric, it was that bad, yeah.
And may I have your address or the other?
Oh, I know where she's at.
Oh, yeah.
I
Because
just
I
need it for
spent
my
some time
records.
out
Yeah,
there.
I don't want to talk to him.
And
4491 Portal Road,
It-
and I have pictures of everything.
Mr. Ivory, you can choose or not choose to comment publicly on an ongoing permit or enforcement.
Oh, no, he already gave her the occupancy.
Okay, but you are welcome to.
Yeah, so, yeah, but it was bad, and I just want to make sure that it is on record. So if someone's house burns down because of faulty electrical that he inspected, that you were warned. That was the only reason that I came here. I am fortunate enough that I can afford to make all the repairs. I spent $100,000 on my daughter's house fixing it because of a faulty contractor.
Did you have a certified electrician come in and prove it?
Yes.
What'd they say?
Oh, we have pictures of everything. They've redone every bit of electric. in
I
the
think it would be
entire
probably a
house.
better question for the engineer to answer that,
Yeah,
our engineer.
if he was the only person that ever came out, him and his son. No one else came out and inspected anything on the house.
it was, you said I didn't inspect anything?
So,
It-
trust me. it's
I just don't
Harold,
know.
if you wish to, I'm happy to meet with you, the board's happy to meet with you after the
Right,
meeting.
but, I mean, I have
It's a
my
specific
pictures
enforcement
too. I
matter.
have 7 contractors that will come and testify of how horrible it was there and that they were shocked it was.
I
inspected.
appreciate your
Right.
comments,
Mhm.
and this is the first that I've heard of anything about this,
Oh,
so
I emailed, but no one replied to me, so.
you
We
emailed,
didn't
I don't
get
think you
any.
emailed me.
Yep, I
You emailed me?
Whose ever email address was the only one on the Board of Supervisors. I-
Who's that?
I think I might have seen a week or so ago, something.
I emailed.
Probably, the best thing to do is email the township manager so she can forward everything to us.
Okay, all right, I have tons of photographs, I can get you contractors' testimonies, I have all the receipts for all the repairs I've made. I mean, it was so bad, I mean, it was blatant that I couldn't even believe it passed fire code. I mean, the seams weren't even done on the drywall, on the wall going into the house. I mean, that's just fire safety 101. The dryer vents were going out through the soffit on the house. Like, I mean, it was just a total fire hazard. Yeah, it was extremely bad.
And I assume you're in a dispute with the contractor.
We have not done anything yet, but trust me, I will. And I will also go after the building inspector as well. I'm not that nice. I pre-warned you.
Well, thank you for those comments.
You're welcome. It is recorded, right? Okay, thank you.
Any other public comments? Not, is there a motion for adjournment?
Second it?
Is there a motion for adjournment? Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Time is it?
7:50.